Short-term memory and how long does it last? Short-term memory, also referred to as primary or active memory, would be the information that we're presently alert to or thinking about. The data located within short-term memory emanates from being attentive to sensory memories. Our brief overview. Short-term memory is rather brief. When short-term memories aren't practiced or constantly taken care of, they will last only just a few seconds. Short-term memory is restricted. It is frequently suggested that short-term memory is capable of holding 7 plus or minus 2 items. The length of short-term memory. The vast majority of information stored in short-term memory will be kept for roughly 20 to 30 seconds, but it could be just seconds if rehearsal or active upkeep of the details are not permitted. Some information may last in short-term memory for approximately a minute. However, most information automatically decays rather swiftly. For instance, suppose that you are attempting to recall a telephone number. The other individual will rattle off that telephone number, while you make a quick mental note of it. Minutes later it becomes clear that you have already forgotten the phone number. Without repeating or continually going over the number until it will be committed to memory, the information is rapidly vanished from short-term memory. It is possible for you to boost the lifetime of short-term memories to a degree through the usage of rehearsal strategies like saying the information out loud or mentally repeating it. Nonetheless, information in short-term memory can also be very vulnerable to interference. Any new information which will enter short-term memory is going to rapidly replace any old information. Comparable components within Mother Nature may also come in conflict with short-term memories. While quite a few of our short-term memories get easily forgotten, attending to this information permits it to carry on to the following stage, which is long-term memory. The capacity of short-term memory. The volume of information which may be stored in short-term memory may vary. A frequently stated figure is plus or 7 items, in accordance with the outcomes of a well-known experiment on short-term memory. Within the powerful article titled The Magical Number 7, plus or minus 2, well-renowned psychologist George Miller suggested that individuals could store between 5 and 9 components in their short-term memory. More modern studies show that individuals are capable to store around 4 chunks or details in short-term memory. Distinction between short-term memory and working memory. Short-term memory can often be utilized interchangeably with working memory. However, the two need to be utilized separately. Working memory is defined as the operations which are used to momentarily store, arrange, and shape information. Short-term memory, alternatively, refers simply to the brief storage of information in the memory. Differentiating the short-term from long-term memory. Memory analysts frequently use what is known as the 3-store model to conceptualize human memory. This model indicates that memory is made up of 3 basic stores: sensory, short-term, and long-term, and that all of these could be recognized according to storage capacity and duration. While long-term memory carries an apparently limitless capacity that will last for years, short-term memory is comparatively limited and reduced. Chunking information into little groups makes it much simpler to recall more items for a short period. The data processing view of memory proposes that human memory works very much similar to a computer. In this replica, information first goes into short-term memory, a brief holding store for recent occurrences, and then some of this data is transmitted into long-term memory, a relatively permanent store, very similar to data on a computer getting added to a hard drive. How could short-term memories become long-term memories? Since short-term memory is limited in both capacity and time span, the retention of memories necessitates transferring the information from short-term stores into long-term memory. Precisely how does this happen? There are various methods that information could be committed to long-term memory. As previously talked about, chunking is one memorization technique which can assist in the moving of information into long-term memory. This method entails breaking apart information into more compact segments. If you are attempting to memorize a string of numbers, for instance, you would section them off into 3 or 4 item blocks. Rehearsal will also help information make it into long-term memory. You may possibly utilize this concept while researching things for a test. Rather than just reviewing the information 1 or 2 times, you may glance over your notes again and again until the important data is committed to memory. The primary components for the way that memories are transmitted from short-term to long-term stores remain debatable and not understood very well. The vintage model, referred to as the Atkinson-Shiffrin model or multimodal model, proposed that all short-term memories were promptly put into long-term memory following a specific duration of time. These days, scientists have suggested that some mental editing occurs and that only specific memories are chosen for long-term preservation. Yet, Other scientists argue the concept that there are separate stores for short-term and long-term memories. Modern-day studies have demonstrated that keeping fit might also help to enhance short-term memory. One testing discovered that treadmill exercise in lab rats with Alzheimer's disease brought about enhancements in short-term memory by boosting neurogenesis, providing hope for new methods which will reduce a number of the symptoms affiliated with Alzheimer's disease. Well, there you have it for short-term memory and how long does it last. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and please subscribe to our channel for upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.